Hey guys, it's Ep45 and welcome back to episode 45 of my Dortmund career mode. Now in today's episode we're going to be continuing on with the summer transfer window. We might actually play this game against Sevilla in the final of the pre-season tournament, just so you guys have some gameplay for today's episode. And then we'll obviously get on with some transfers, selling players and signing players using some of your suggestions that you left in the previous episode. Before we get into things though, if we could go ahead and hit 40 likes on today's episode, I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. It will be absolutely fantastic. Trying to hit 7,500 subscribers as my next sort of target. So by subscribing, you obviously do really help out. This is the team we're going to go with for the game against Sevilla. There's a couple of big names in there, but some obviously, we've got some youth players in there as well, because a lot of players are still out at the World Cup tournament. So we've got Donnarumma in goal, we've got Chilotto in right back, then we've got Romero and Towers as centre backs, Vendel there at left back, our new signing, and then we've got Weigl, Arnold, our new signing, and Roda in midfield. Then we've got Marquez and Alexander-Arnold out wide, and with Aubameyang up front. He's able to play. He was out, I think, injured, so he didn't quite go to the World Cup. And to be honest, Gabon probably didn't even get to the World Cup, to be honest, so he didn't obviously go. And this is the bench we've got. Some youngsters on there, but also a couple of other players if we want to try out different things. And yeah, let's crack on with the game. It's the final. It's obviously going to get us a few more million if we do win it. And we'll just wait and see how we get on. This will probably be the only gameplay of today's episode. Because I think the first game is the 1st of September. So that means obviously we've got a little bit of time until we play our first league game. Okay, here we go. I want Arnold to play a big role in this match. I really want to see something from him here. We've also got to bear in mind we can make all our subs. Everyone on the bench can come on if we want. This is a pre-season game, so as much as we want to win it, we can also try out some different things as well if we need to. But for me, I need a good performance from Arnold. He's going to be a key player, I hope, for us this season. So hopefully he can show us what he can do, and hopefully get ourselves a couple of chances created there. Wasn't supposed to quite go this far wide. He's still got it. We're going to look for a cross. It's a decent ball in. Aubameyang's in there. Yeah, he does have good technical ability. Really looks quite good, Arnold. Very, very happy so far with that. But we need to try and create ourselves a goal. We want to try and win this if we can. Decent delivery. Headed over the bar, but out for a corner. Play it short again. We are all over Sevilla at the moment. It's going to be Romero to try and cross it in. And again, couldn't quite make anything of it. Arnold looking for Marquez. Going to hopefully try and get us going forward if we can here. He's holding up. Again, looking for Arnold. Starting to dictate play a little bit here is Arnold. Was after really a shooting chance at some point if we can get one. Going to go for it. Wow, okay, if that's his shooting ability from that sort of range, we've got one hell of a player on our hands this season. What a hit that is. That's miles out. He's got no right to hit it from there. That's sneaking in, I think. The goalkeeper's had to do something about it, and it's out for a corner. He could be unbelievable for us. Need to get him on the ball even more if we can. Get some shooting opportunities as well with him. Ooh, what a chance that was for Sevilla. What a great chance it was. Doesn't quite manage to take it there, the striker. Just heads it over the bar. He's obviously got more height than I think it's Romero in there. And easily outjumps him. But could have been 1-0 down there quite easily. Arguably the best chance of the game so far. Aubameyang onto Arnold. That's great play. This is still on the counter-attack from their corner. Arnold off the bar. What a hit. Just almost put too much power behind it in the end. That all stemmed from them trying to play it out to their defenders from their corner. Ridiculous corner, but we nearly made something from it. 0-0. No idea how that's happened. Arnold obviously with 2 amazing strikes in that first half. And he is really running the play at the moment in midfield. So it's a little bit disappointing we're not winning this game, to be honest. We've had a couple of decent chances. As of they, I mean, I couldn't really complain too much if it was maybe 1-1 or possibly even 2-2 in this game. But I'd say we have probably just edged it. Okay, so a few changes now. We're approaching sort of the 60th minute. We are going to basically bring on Moreno, Schmitz and Paslak. As you can see, we've also changed the formation as well. Tried to get Arnold more involved in this game by putting a centre attack in mid. So the players taken off are Roda, Romero and Marquez, and that means that we're going to put Weigl at centre-back alongside Tar. We have no other centre-backs that we could use, so we're going to go with Weigl, see how that goes, and yeah, hopefully get a good performance from him, give us another option in that centre-back position. Alexander-Arnold also playing CDM now as well. But yeah, this is all to kind of aid Arnold and hopefully get him involved in the game a little bit more, because, I mean, he is involved. I mean, get him into better positions, I should say. To obviously score from, because he seems like our best option really from scoring at the moment. We're going to make the final 4 changes now, and it's going to be Aubameyang, Alexander-Arnold, Arnold and Charlotto all coming off. So 4 changes. Castro is going to come on. Luna, Iheanacho and Weber all to come on. So we'll give that a go, see how it goes now. There's quite a few players playing in so many different positions. We have changed a lot. Paslak's now back at right back. Schmitz is out on the right-hand side, Weber on the left, Luna obviously just in behind the striker. So we'll give that a go, see what it's like. Obviously, again, it's very experimental, a lot of youngsters playing. I am keen to see how they perform in this match. Iheanacho onto Schmitz. He's going to look to come inside on his left foot. Castro going to wait for Iheanacho here. He's trying to create something. Iheanacho across the box gets blocked, and that's been the case throughout all of the game so far. Every single chance we try and create, there's a leg somewhere, basically. Every time there's a leg somewhere. Schmitz onto Luna. He's going to play it inside now, looking for another pass, getting on our own way now. Come on, Iheanacho, make a run. Moreno, Iheanacho off the post, Schmitz, and he finishes it off. It's the goal that we needed in the 90th minute, prevents us going into penalties. It's Schmitz, the substitute with the goal. The youngster scores it. Okay, we probably should have scored it with Iheanacho to begin with, but it's a goal anyway. We'll happily take it. Good bit of build-up play, held up nicely by Moreno. Just introducing Iheanacho, who made the right run. Sadly, though, hit the post initially, but the rebound could not be saved. And we should now go on to win this. We really should, but initial pass should be a goal. I can't believe Iheanacho missing that. His finishing is that good. He should not be missing from that sort of range. But it goes in, that's the main thing, and we're winning this game 1-0. Oh, didn't let me change to the right player. Taz had to clear it. Final chance for them to score. They got the goalkeeper up in the 93rd minute here. Need to clear this one if we can. It's towards the goalkeeper, headed away. Iheanacho to try and prevent something. Come on, stop the shot. So it's fallen for him. It's 1-1. Oh my days. What an ending to this game. He scored it. I can't believe that. Horrific defending. I mean, it bounces kindly for him, I suppose, but we've got to clear it better. Iheanacho trying to get towards the player. We should stop that initial shot, the one that gets blocked. It's as simple as that. If we win now, then that's great, obviously. But yeah, it's so frustrating. So close to winning it. Can't believe we didn't. But that first penalty goes in by Castro. We're 1-0 up. Need to get ourselves saving a couple of these if we can. Let's not make it too nerve-wracking. It's going to be a good run-up by the player, and he slots it home. That's a fantastic penalty. Donnarumma goes the wrong way. Paslak now, not someone you probably associate with penalty taking, but he slots it home just like Castro did into the same corner, 2-1. And they're going to step up, maybe go a little bit more central with this run-up. I'm going to, I think, dive left here. Although he might just smash it down the middle, but I'm going to go left. And he saved it, Donnarumma. Good save from him. Oh, Jesus, it's left-footed players. Don't like them whatsoever. Sorry, left-footers. We're going to smash that one, and it's been saved. Oh my days, it's always the left-footers. Always. Can't believe how many times it happens. I just can't score with them. Got to save this one. Oh, I think, was that wide? Yeah, I've just watched it back. I'm pretty sure it was wide, but I'm still not 100% sure. Iheanacho to step up. A left-footer that can score just off the penalty and in. It's 3-1. If we save this, we've won. And that will give us an extra few million. Will we save it? Oh, it's down the middle. I told him to go right, but he kind of stayed centrally. I wouldn't have complained, though, obviously, if he saved that. Weigl going to look to just finesse this one down the middle-ish. Bit too far down the middle for my liking, but he scores the winner. It's Weigl that gets the winning penalty. We have won the pre-season tournament. Fantastic start to the season for us. Yes, we've only played one of the games, but I think from the rest of the performances we seem to do fairly well, especially with such a weak team. I mean, this really is such a bad team. We won't have to play with this during the season. So, yeah, it is quite a poor team. But we've managed to win it, so that tells you something that we are doing a very good job. So that gives us 3.4 million for winning the tournament. That's decent. Now we can move on to putting some bids in for players. There's a couple of players that you guys suggested, which I'm going to go and show you now, but we might have to wait until the squad reports come back on those players. The first one is this right wing back he was suggested. Never heard of him actually before. He can also play right back as well. Not too sure what overall he is, so we are scouting him. We might sign this guy though, to be honest. He's another player that I've been looking at. He looks pretty decent. I've obviously heard of him before and does look very good for a right back. It's like a backup right back. If we get rid of someone like Paslak, he might be on the way out. Other suggestions for left mids include Leon Bailey and Adam. Let's just call him Adam. Is it Adam Unas? I don't think it's too difficult to pronounce. I'm going to go with Unas. And yeah, both of them left mids, obviously for Schürrle, who I think departed, was it last episode I want to say? Yeah, I think it was last episode, so we could do with another left mid. I think Leon Bailey will probably be my preferred choice. I've heard he is very good. Not used him yet though on this FIFA. So yeah, again, just wait for scout reports to come back basically now. So we've got some emails to look at now, just the one, and it's one of our youngsters there being sold for 300 grand. I think he's played a couple of times during the pre-season tournaments, but he's not part of my plans for the season ahead. We've now got some player development to do. Let's see what sort of players are available. We'll just go with these 5, I think, see how they get on. There's quite a few potential upgrades this week. We'll wait to see whether that does happen or not. Yeah, loads of attributes going up for those 2 youngsters on the right-hand side. All 4 of them, I think, going up for both of them. So, decent week for them. Transfer offer in for Castro. He's one of the players we've listed. 10.5 million from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Clearly not good enough. We're going to ask for 14.5 million. He's worth 13. I think we should expect around that amount. So yeah, well, let's wait and see what they say. Despite him being transfer listed, I'm not going to let him go for a cheap amount. And another transfer offer in, this time for another youngster, a CDM, 17 years old. Grimsby Town going in for him. Bit of a strange, and we're going to ask for 200 grand. I'm happy to get rid of some of the youngsters that don't look like they're going to make much of an impact this season. And if it gets us a couple of 100 grand in, then so be it, really. I'll be quite happy with that. Borussia Mönchengladbach have come back and said that they'll pay 11.5. Still not quite good enough. We'll ask for 13.5. We're not obviously going to go any lower than 13, I wouldn't have thought. Grimsby have come back and said they'll pay 180 grand. I think we will ask for 190 now. I think last time we said 200 grand, didn't we? So we'll try and push that extra 10 grand from them. Transfer offer in for Aubameyang, £45 million for Aubameyang. Now, this actually reminds me, someone suggested again to try and bring back Lewandowski, so it's tempting to do that. Aubameyang hasn't been in fantastic form for us, to be completely honest, but would Lewandowski provide a better quality striker up front? I know he's a better overall, but he's less pace on him. I'm not too sure about his finishing or other stats, but yeah, it's difficult to know exactly. So what we will say is, if they choose to pay, let's say, 80 million, then they can have him, I think. It's a little bit risky, because I don't, to be honest, want to get rid of Aubameyang just yet, but 80 million would be a good enough amount, I think, for him, given the fact he's 29 years old, and he hasn't, like I say, he's not been that fantastic, really, in games, so we could look to try and freshen up the team, bring in someone like Lewandowski if we could, and yeah, we'll wait and see what happens in the next few days with that one. Schaffer's gone up to 65 overall, that's great news. He should have a little bit more of a role this season. Still not obviously a starting 11 place, but he should get a couple more games. Final scout back on Leon Bailey is 80 overall. I did not expect that. Okay, I expected him to be much less than that. Expected him to be probably early 70s, to be honest, but he's actually 80 overall. Okay, we're definitely putting in a bid for him, no doubt about it. Exciting prospect as well. I'm genuinely very excited to use him. I'm hoping we can get him in. I'm pretty sure we got rid of Schürrle, so we don't need to include him as part of the deal. 19.5 million. I was tempted by 20, but we'll go with 19.5. Get him in as cheaply as possible. Also, his wage is ridiculously low, so we'd love to try and sign him if we could. And Borussia Mönchengladbach had given us 13.5 million for Castro, as long as they can agree personal terms. It was a shame to let him go to another Bundesliga club. I'm not a huge fan of doing that, but it inevitably was probably going to be one of our better offers. So we'll see what sort of money we get to use now from that deal. Grimsby, we're just going to accept 180 grand from them. No point going any further just for 10 grand. Liverpool will come back and said they're willing to pay 60 million, but not 80. So what we will do is be kind to them. We'll say you can have him for 75 million. Didn't quite expect them to say 60 though. I thought they might go a little bit less than that to begin with. Transfer offer in for Charlotto, a player that I'm pretty sure I've got transfer listed. We're looking to get a new right back as well at some point. He didn't actually have too much of a bad game in the last one that we played in the final. But still, I'm not 100% happy with him. I think we could have a better right back basically as a second option. We'll ask for 5.2. They've only offered us 2.5, which is an absolute joke. And we've got a player sold here. Castro's finally gone, 11.5 million added on to our budget. Genk have come back and said they want 27 million. I think it's unacceptable what we've offered them, and I completely disagree. We'll offer them 22.5. I don't want to be paying 27 million for an 80 overall. I know he's 20 years old, but I still don't want to go all out for him just yet. Transfer offers in for Donnarumma. We got 20.5 million from Villarreal. Simply not good enough. He's 19 years old. He's probably going to be the best goalkeeper in the world if we were to keep going with this career mode. Also another bid for Iheanacho, 84 overall now, 21 years old, 38 million. We'll leave that one for now, but we've got Liverpool coming back with an offer which is quite ridiculous, really. They've upped it by 1 million and just under 50 grand as well. yeah, that's a bit of a strange amount. How's about we say you can have him for that? That is the final amount. If you don't want him for that, then go away, basically, and we'll try and sell him to somebody else for an amount similar to that. But I think with the actual deal, 38 million, it's a lot of money, but not too interested, I don't think. Another difficult one for us to decide on. Mallet's finally gone now, so we got 130 grand from him. Okay, this is what we've been waiting for to get in other bids. We've got some more scout reports back on the right wing back. He's 20 years old, 74 overall. Good crossing ability, actually, that's good to see. Defensively not fantastic though, but fast, so we'll continue to look at him. We've got another player as well. This is another left mid, which we've been scouting. Not as good as Bailey, that was the player that we'll take a look at a second ago. But he's fast, he does look decent. I just don't think we'd need him if we get in Leon, and we'll wait and see on that one, I think. But we need to still look at a right back. I'm pretty sure that is a bit of a weakness for us at the moment. So I think the right back we're going to try and put in a bid for is a player called, I think it's Tin Jedvaj, I think is how I'm going to pronounce it. Hopefully it's okay, let me know again in the comments if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But a £12 million bid I think is what we're going to put in for him. Looks decent, he can also play centre back as well, and he's about the right overall I want as a backup. Obviously I don't want someone that's like 84, 85 overall, because we've got Aurier who's 87, and I want him to be the outright right back, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're going to just go with that and see what they say. So it's an initial bid that maybe they'll reject, but we'll wait and see over the next few days. Transfer offer in for Emery Moore Valencia, 22.5 million. No thanks, not interested in selling Emery Moore whatsoever. I still believe he's going to be a big part of this season going ahead, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and reject it. We've got a bid coming in though for Charlotto. It's another one from an Italian club, I think it is. 4.6 million. We are just going to accept it. It's over the value, so we will happily take that for a player that's transfer listed. And Genk have accepted the £22.5 million bid for Leon Bailey. He wants 25 grand a week. We're obviously going to give him that 5-year deal. And I think important first team players fair. Hope to get him into the side as much as possible. He's competing against Royce and Pulisic as well. So we'll wait and see how he does this season. He might play on the right hand side. He might play down the middle even as well. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. They don't believe he's worth that much, so they're not gone ahead with that deal. Liverpool backing out the £74 million deal that was going to be going ahead. Another bid in for him though. PSG have the money. We're going to ask for 80 million again. Come on. Cough up the money. I think they will actually match this, you know. I know it's nearly double, but I think they might match it, and that's why I might just go 85 million. Just push the boat out a little bit. We'll wait and see what they say to that. He could be on the way out here, Aubameyang. We might have to get Lewandowski. We've got Leverkusen coming back and rejecting our bid for their right back. They want £17 million. We're going to go with 14, just up it slightly, and I think they should accept that. 14 and 15 million is probably more fair for him. Donnarumma wants to discuss wages. Yeah, we'll get you a new deal sorted out now, I think. New deal for Donnarumma. It's going to be a 1-year contract extension, 25 grand a week, crucial first team player, and we've got to go with the bonuses actually. There's no point doing that, so we'll wait and see what he says to that. He should accept it, really. I really want him to stay at the club. He's been a fantastic player for us so far. Man City have said unacceptable for Yaya Toure. Now, this is a player that I put in a bid for and not shown you guys about it because I think he's gone down overall quite a bit now, but he's 35 years old in the final 12 months or 11 months of his contract, and we put in a bid of 5 million. We want to see what they said, and they want 6.5. We're going to offer 6. Now you might be wondering, why are you looking to get in a 35-year-old centre mid? I like him, alright? I like him a lot in this game. I think he's fantastic. If I can get him for 6 million, that is a hell of a signing there, Yaya Toure, if we can. It is obviously a little bit strange. He might not be able to fit into the team all the time, but I certainly would like to get him into our squad because I think he would add something to it, a bit more quality in there to try and finish off some of our chances. We've also got Charlotto leaving us now, 3.6 million added on to our transfer budget, and Leon Bailey comes into the side for 22.5 million, a very, very big deal, that one, considering that he's only 21 years old now and 80 overall, but I'm sure he can develop with us. Really, really happy with that signing, and we'll look forward to having him in the team as well. Very fast, decent dribbling ability. His actual technical stats are much better than I thought, and he can also play left and right mid, so great news for us that he's signed. PSG have come back and said they'll pay 68 million for Aubameyang. I think, did we ask for 85 last time? So how's about we ask for 80? I've got a feeling they might match this, you know. I've got a feeling that if they're offering 68 million as the first counter offer, then I think they might go another 12 million, you know. Leverkusen have come back and accepted our bid for the right back, and we will say 60 grand a week for him. Just give him the money that he wants, basically. 5-year deal. And go for a rotational player just to be safe. Don't like giving players a important first team player all the time, because then they start asking you to play a little bit more. Man City have come back and accepted the £6 million bid for Yaya Toure. He wants 90 grand a week. We'll happily give him that. We'll give him a 2-year contract as well. And I think squad rotational player will be fair. He's a sporadic first team player at City, so he should accept that with us. Donnarumma accepts his contract as well. So yeah, let's finish off today's episode by making a couple more signings. There's not too much more to be able to do now, but hopefully, yeah, just type the few last deals that we can do. PSG have come back and matched the £80 million bid that we asked for. £80 million. They've matched it. Will they agree personal terms? That's the key, though. He's obviously going to France. Will he agree to that? 80 million will be ours, and obviously that means Lewandowski will be the player that we'll be looking at. Could this be happening? Let's wait and find out. We've also got the contract offer accepted by that right back, 14 million for him. He comes in. We're making a good few additions here. We still need to get rid of a few players. We have got rid of a couple, but not everyone that I'd like to. And yeah, we'll wait and see now whether Aubameyang does agree to that deal. £80 million. Another bid in for one of our youngsters, Romero. He played a little bit in pre-season. I'll be happy to just let him go for 70 grand, to be honest. He was okay. He did all right filling at centre-back. He was having to cope with a couple of decent players, and he did all right, but certainly won't be good enough for this season. Will Aubameyang be leaving us? Player sold, and it is Aubameyang, 74.5 million. This is a big deal. This is a very, very big deal. Usually with these sort of deals, I'd do a vote and that sort of thing, but it has kind of come out of the blue a little bit. But 74.5 million is what we're going to get for Aubameyang. What a deal that is, £80 million. And Yaya Toure accepts the contract as well. He signs for us, £6 million. But now let's put in the bid for Lewandowski. Here we go, £75 million is what we're going to go with for our first bid for Lewandowski. Let's have a look at his stats. His pace is actually better than I thought. He's strong, great reactions, good jumping. He's kind of the all-round sort of striker, isn't he, to be honest? He's got a good amount of pace. He can head the ball, he can shoot, he can pretty much do everything. So he is very much the complete forward. Let's try and bring him back to Dortmund and see what Bayern say to that. Very, very big bid. Let's wait and see what happens. Player sold, that's Romero. He's gone. Iheanacho wants to fill in for a Aubameyang spot. He will do that to some extent, but obviously we are going to try and bring in Lewandowski as well, so he's going to be competing with him. Some player drills to do, and then we will wait and see what Bayern say to that bid. Try and get Lewandowski signed this episode if we can. But you never know, he might actually he might say that he does want to return to the club. That sort of thing does happen. So it's definitely not a complete deal, this one. And Bayern want 110 million for Lewandowski. Oh no, 110. That is outrageous. £90 million for Lewandowski, that's the bid. It's 20 million less than what they want still, but it's all we can really offer them. Let's see what they say. 90 million is a lot of money. If they start to reject those sort of bids, then you've got to chuck in a player, I think, as well. What's going to happen? They've accepted 90 million. Thank God for that. We need another striker to come in now, and that means we're going to go with a 3-year deal. Crucial first-team player. Will he decide to accept the contract? In the moment of truth, he accepts the contract. Lewandowski's returning. Fantastic news for us. Obviously, we've paid a little bit more than what I was expecting, but 90 million it is. He is definitely, I'd say, in my opinion, a bit better than Aubameyang, but it's very, very close. He's now 30 years old as well, so he's just gone up in age. That's happened with a couple of players that we've signed this episode, but still delighted to have him in the squad, no matter what his age is. But 90 overall. What a signing that is. Got to remember to take Aubameyang now off the thumbnail. That's going to be a job to do as well. And that's where we're going to end the episode here. Apologies though, if you guys didn't want to see Aubameyang sold. I think a few of you had been commenting that for a little while now. I thought it would be interesting to kind of shake things up a little bit for our final season. At the end of the day, if players aren't performing in game, we've got to get rid of them. If they're not scoring goals, if they're not our top goal scorer, then we've got to get rid of them, try something new. That's what we're doing with Lewandowski. Hopefully he can give us that this season. That is everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. How's about we try and hit 50 likes on today's episode with us smashing that deal there with Lewandowski, signing him for 90 million, and also obviously getting rid of Aubameyang for a very large amount as well. And don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you can not miss a video whenever I upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next episode. Goodbye.